residences here. There is also another residence on Harrison Street that is part of this crime scene as well. Right now, we have at least 10 individuals that were struck by gunfire last night in a domestic disturbance. 8 of these individuals are deceased. The ranges of the decedents are from 1 year of age to approximately 14 years of age. All of the deceased in this case are juveniles. The individual responsible, once leaving this scene, performed a carjacking right here in close proximity to the corner of West 79th and Linwood, at which point in time, Shreveport Police Patrol officers got behind that vehicle and a chase ensued. The vehicle was chased into Bossier Parish, and at which point in time, Shreveport police officers did discharge their firearm, and that individual is deceased. We do believe him to be the only individual that fired gunshots at these locations here. He is deceased, and Louisiana State Police will be taking over that portion in which the Shreveport police officers discharged their firearms. So we don't have any more information on the shooting that occurred in Bossier. What we can tell you is this is a domestic disturbance here in the 300 block of West 79th Street. This is a very large scene with multiple deceased children present, and so we're going to ask for your patience in us getting information out. We will release the name of the suspect that is deceased when we have made the proper notifications. We do know that some of the children inside were his descendants, and so once we are sure of everyone's names and ages and the proper channels have been notified, we'll be releasing all of that information. But we did want to come on and give what information we have available. So at this point in time, I'd like to bring the mayor because I know he has some words and he's been here since the early part of this investigation.
Thank you, Chris. Whenever we have a situation like this, the words of the poet John Gunn always come to mind. No man is an island unto himself. So therefore, never ask for whom you well told as he told for thee. We have a hurting community. We have hurting families. We have hurting police officers, coroner's personnel, fire department, sheriff people, and this affects the entire community. So we all mourn with these families. It's a Sunday morning. I ask all of you who are listening, you might be able to pray at your services this morning for not just this family, for all the victims who are at the hospital, and for the Cedar Grove community, and for the community at large, as well as police officers, coroners, fire department, Caddo Parish Sheriff's Office. This is a tragic situation, maybe the worst tragic situation we've ever had in Shreveport. And so right now, we're going to process the information. It is in very good hands, but it's a terrible morning in Shreveport, and we all mourn with the victims.
My heart goes out to this entire community for the tragic event that has taken place this morning. I just don't know what to say. My heart is just taken back. I just cannot begin to imagine how such an event can occur. I want to let the community know that all of my resources are out here processing every piece of evidence in every scene, and at some time in the near future, we'll be able to give some more inclusive information about exactly what took place. I want to thank the agencies that have reached out to me this morning and offered their assistance. Thank you so much to Caddo Parish, Sheriff Department, the Louisiana State Police, Shreveport Fire Department, and all that have either came out to help or called and offered their assistance. We're going to be working diligently, however long it takes, to get some answers to what's taking place.
As Chief Smith indicated, we will release more information when it's available. We'll be working closely with the coroner's office, so look for some information, hopefully by tomorrow, on the information in regards to the 8 children. And just please keep this community and these officers in your thoughts and prayers, because as the mayor indicated, this is an extensive scene and likely thing. I know most of us are as soon as we have information.
Chris, can you give the exact address of where this occurred, the shooting occurred?
Okay, so you have 3 different scenes. The shooting itself occurred just down the road up here in the block of West 79th. There's also another shooting related to this on Harrison Street, and then there's saying, Jason President always saying, I get what grant to you after the shooting. So it's an extensive season. And once we have all of the information, the best we can use it together.
Chris, what time did all of this just start?
Early morning hours, with the visual message is somewhere in the 5 o'clock hour, I believe. But once I have a timeline, we'll detail that.
Have you ever seen anything like this in your years of working, Chris?
I'd like it to school.
I know you said you can't release the name of the suspect yet, but can you get the age? Was he a juvenile? Was he an adult?
No, the suspect is an adult. That information out. Hopefully, much more.
And you said it happened at multiple locations? Gunfire happened at multiple locations? How many locations exactly?
So, Harrison Street address, we know there's a shooting there. There's multiple deceased persons here. We're going to walk us at night. And then the shooting that occurred in Moser. So, we have several crime scenes. One more thing, Louisiana State Police and Moser and the Forensic Bureau Sheriff's Office. This type of scene requires a lot of resources, requires a lot of officers to make sure these are investigated. And the best we can try to understand this. I don't know what the best we can explain it. Whatever closure we can get from the evidence involved.
And you're sure they're all connected, all the scenes?
Yes, absolutely. These things are undoubtedly connected. Right now, there is no public safety threat of this violence. That individual is deceased.
Are you able to share a motive at this time?
Thank you all.
We're standing in this place again. There are 8 children that are deceased. I can't be strong for you. I think about the mother and what this family has lost. I think about this community and what this community has lost. And I don't have the words to give you, and I'm sorry. I don't know what people think in the crevices of their mind to want to harm another human being, let alone that of children who have their whole life ahead of them. From what I've learned about this incident is that it's domestic in nature that makes it even more horrific, or all the fighting that we do as it relates to this. And maybe you can stand strong with this, but I can't without shedding tears of traumatic pain. I pain and I grieve for this family. I grieve for the lives that are lost, and I'm asking you to please utilize every resource that the sheriff has brought forth now when you know that these situations occur. We cannot be and make this a joke. This is not a freaking joke. This is real, and this is the result when someone snaps. So I'm going to ask the community, along with prayer, with every mental health consultant, counselor that is out here, this family and this community needs you. I need you. Because how do we get through this? How do we get to the next level? It is real, and this is wrong. And these are the tragedies when there are domestic violence or domestic disturbances in our community.
What's going on, family? Make sure y'all smash up the likes. It has been a minute, of course, since I have come on this channel. As y'all know, in the last time, I think was a few months ago, I did a live stream. It's been a while. I've been dealing with a lot, with family issues and work. And of course, what we've been fighting here on social media, on YouTube in particular, had been problematic. I make no I make no I've made no ambiguous statements in regards to what's happened. Y'all know what they do to a lot of the channels on here, this platform. Of course, I'm happy to see some of my regulars that are in here, from Danielle Meyer and Cheryl Bryant. Buzzer says, "Hey, I miss you too, man." Thank y'all for tuning in. Yeah, I see I got more people actually on X that hit me up that are looking at this. But of course, there's a lot that has happened and transpired in the last few months of interesting source. But of course, that situation that happened with Justin Fairfax and his wife, the former lieutenant governor up in Virginia, that was terrible. And I hate to be coming here on Sunday afternoon to be talking about a situation where 8 children, unfortunately, are no longer alive as a result of the actions of a coward. Now, I don't know the facts and circumstances, Uh, I don't necessarily have to know all the facts and circumstances when there are children involved who had their whole lives ahead of them that are no longer with us. And they state it was 8 children that were killed, and apparently, at least from what the you saw the report from Christopher Bordelon, who's a spokesman for the Shreveport police, he stated that some of the children were individuals who were descendants of the shooter. So it sounds like this started out in this. Apparently, this was a domestic disturbance that took place in Cedar Grove, which is in Shreveport. Shreveport has been struggling a lot lately. Of course, Shreveport, I don't know if most people know about this, but Shreveport consistently has been ranked as one of the worst cities in the United States in terms of violent crime rates. They're number, I believe, they're third. They place third in most violent cities, just from reading the report here. And I'm not trying to make this about Shreveport being a bad area. I haven't been to Shreveport, only through passing through. I don't know everyone there, I'm sure. And like any other place, there are nice people there, but they struggled, of course, with poverty, blight, economic challenges. 50 Cent actually just put up his studio about a year, I think early last year. He just built the 50, or in 2024, he actually built a studio back there to bring business to Shreveport, economic development. A lot of people were excited about that. But it's unfortunate this morning that we wake up to a tragic situation. Apparently, these children range from 18 months old, according to reports, to 14 years old, if I'm not mistaken, based off what I've read. And again, most of these kids all had their lives ahead of them. Their lives haven't even started. And it's unfortunate that they're not going to get that opportunity to live a long life, to be a part of our society and make a difference. And, it did not have to happen. Just like the situation in Virginia. And I'm going to have to talk about that another time. It did not have to happen. If you are desperate, you're angry, anything like that, guys, if you get depressed, and I know what the cost and pain of divorce as an attorney, what that does to a man's psyche, but there's help out there. Get it. Don't live with somebody if they are gonna be violent. If you're getting a divorce, don't live with somebody. I don't think that's a good idea to share a house with somebody you're breaking up with, especially if their mental health is deteriorating and they're either abusing drugs or alcohol. But that's another story. So, police chief Wayne Smith said the suspected killer was shot and killed by the police after he was committing a carjacking. This Christopher Bordelon, who's the police spokesperson, said, "We do know that some of the children, as I stated earlier, were his descendants," meaning he had actually, it seems like he killed his own kids. If he says his descendants, that's what that sounds like to me. Of course, descendants, that could be nephews or nieces or whatever, but uh, I don't want to say too much. They haven't released their names, so I have to be careful and say that, but I suspect that's what that means. Shreveport Mayor Tom Arsenault gave a statement. He said, "This quote, this is a tragic situation, maybe the worst tragic situation we've had in recent memory in the northwestern Louisiana city, which is about a population of over 177,000 people. It's a terrible morning in Shreveport, and we all know my heart goes out to the entire community for the tragic event that has taken place this morning." U.S. House spokesperson Mike Johnson, who's a Louisiana Republican whose congressional district includes Shreveport, also issued a statement saying Sunday's violence was heartbreaking. "My team is in touch with local law enforcement as more details emerge. We're holding the victims, their families, and loved ones, and our Shreveport community close in our thoughts and prayers during this difficult time." They also spoke to a neighbor who stated her name is Lisa Deming, who lived 2 doors down from one of the shooting scenes in Shreveport, and told the Associated Press that her security camera captured video of the gunman running away toward a tire shop. She said she could hear 2 shots on the audio. That's pretty much all I saw was him running out of the house, she said. Deming said she later saw the covered bodies of one of the victims laying on the roof of the house, but she said she never heard anything like a fight or argument on the roof of a house. That's something else. That's really interesting. How did the kids run up to the roof? That's something else. That's a shame. They say that so far there have been at least six, quote, six mass shootings in the year of 2026. According to what I'm reading, this article from The Guardian, the link is in the description box. Well, in the description box, and I have it in the chat. Yeah. So yeah, this is just a tragic situation all around, y'all. Uh, we don't know, of course, like they say, the whole situation as to how it got there and what happened, but we're gonna monitor it as we get more information. Normally, if they don't release the name of the suspect or shooter, I find that most of the time it's a white boy that they do it. But hey, that happened when they had the terrorist attack in New Orleans, New Year's Day last year. I thought it was a white boy, and it ended up being an Indian. So, uh, second close. Yeah, it was something else. Yeah, Pakistani. I can't remember what it. I think yeah. I don't think he was It wasn't a Black American. I don't believe the guy who did that one, but uh, I I suspect though, and I suspect that this person probably is a black. It may be a black person that did this. If this was looks like this was in a black neighborhood from what I'm seeing the councilwoman speak. Uh, it started as a domestic incident, which it more than likely was, and it's tragic. It's tragic. Irregardless of the race of the victims, anytime you see a loss of life, anytime you see people, especially children, as young as 18 years old, die uh, or get killed, I should say, in this case, uh, with the circumstances, is tragic. Yeah. But anyway, y'all, this wasn't going to be a long live stream. That wasn't my intentions. I just wanted to say hello and come in. Of course, I wish it were under better circumstances to come on and report this, but we do what we have to do when we see situations like this. Hope you all are safe and blessed wherever you are. Be safe, family. And if you're having problems, and I mean this, if you have thoughts of harming someone or harming yourself, there are national hotlines you can call. There are people you can talk to. Uh, Go to the church, go to a priest or pastor. Some of you may not be religious, even though just try it. There are other groups out there too. There's secular groups that you can reach. There's hotlines you can reach out to if you're having a crisis in your life. Call a friend, call somebody. If it gets to that point, I will say this: I had a family friend who, unfortunately, he uh, he took his life and was having some marital issues. A family friend, a friend of my brother, and my brother did, and I remember he did everything to try and reach out to that person and uh, beforehand. And are you all right? You're right. And they weren't answering, which sometimes we see with people who are depressed, people that we see struggling with that are not just depressed, but also they may be fatigued. They feel trapped. They feel cornered, And you know, stress is real. Stress kills. I've learned that is an actual fact. That stress is a factor in a lot of things in a lot of these situations, but there is hope, ladies and gentlemen. And so we want to keep the families of the victims lifted up in prayer. As more information comes on, of course, we'll provide that. But yeah, it's thank y'all for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone that's followed me on X, I appreciate you all for jumping in. People that have been on our YouTube channel, I know you don't get the notifications often, like talking about it, but thank you. Yeah, Danielle, thank you. How you doing, Danielle? Spirit of Justice. I see Jacoby. Yeah, I don't think I haven't come back with the fluency, guys, just because of just like I said, stuff that's been I've been tied up with. But I try to make an appearance. I will every now and then. All right. Well, with that being said, yeah, and I was going to talk about the. Do I want to talk about the thing with? Maybe I can use that another day, but that situation with the lieutenant governor. I think I'll just save that for another day up in Fairfax. Yeah, that situation was tragic with him and his wife, who was a dentist. Yeah, that's just that's a shame too. And I don't want to get into that one, but yeah, there's been a lot of grifting. There's been a lot of comments on social media, almost like a war that's trying to be started between black men and black women over who's at fault and what. And uh, that I want to save for another day, another conversation. I want to focus on these kids that were killed. Yeah, yeah, it was. All right. Well, this was not a long live stream, guys, like I stated. So tomorrow is Monday. Unfortunately, we go back to work. Or some of us, we are working today and it hasn't stopped. But y'all be safe, ladies and gentlemen. Be blessed. This is, by the way, the national crisis hotline you can dial if you're having trouble. 988 Lifeline is the website. Uh, give them a call. These are people to talk to, and it doesn't cost you anything. All right, you talk to them. All right, y'all. Well, at any rate, guys, you all be safe and be blessed, and I will get out of here. Love you. Peace. Whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today. But if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on through our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel gboot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace.